influencers and content creators truly change how we behave, and it'll be very interesting to see going into the future how today's kids who watch YouTube or TikTok or any kind of other content creators, like how their upbringings will change how they will behave in the future as adults. And nowadays, if you're a kid on TikTok or wherever you are, you can find pretty much any kind of piece of content. Pull up TikTok now, it's like you can land on some OnlyFans chicks, or you can get some like financial advice. To kind of kick this episode into gear, then I'd also like to leave maybe like 3 pieces of advice of whom or whose kind of content you should be following yourself. You're very much in control of also throughout the days how you kind of feel based on what kind of content you consume. Because even today I like went to the gym, I just pulled up a podcast that I remember I really liked when Joe Rogan interviewed Kevin Hart. I watched the 2nd episode of that, and like throughout the whole gym, not just kind of pumping iron, I was also super motivated to even come back here, have this video, and start producing some cool content myself. And I've noticed as well where I've been kind of in the periods of where I kind of consume this kind of dark content about stuff like this Criminal Minds and some horrific stuff happening, or people kind of getting stuck in like caves and stuff. I'm sure YouTube has recommended you those kind of videos as well, but I've noticed as well where kind of my own kind of thinking process also turns a little bit more darker, and also seems to be more anxious and depressing. So even now, by just choosing what kind of content to consume, whether it's like motivating or disastrous, I can see how my kind of typical day-to-day behavior also changes. But yeah, those 3 tips I think would be to say, I already covered one. It's like purposefully choose what kind of content you're looking at. So meaning, yeah, if you want to be, if you really suck right now and just getting something done, just view some content that motivates you. At some point it used to be like Jordan Peterson for me. Now it's like interviews with Kevin Hart. It's like, it's been killer for me. Number 2, look at content creators who are like actually smart. It's gonna be a little bit tricky, like how do you kind of judge who is smart, but I would kind of look out for who are the content creators that are kind of teaching something new or bringing some new perspective into topics that you maybe haven't necessarily thought about yourself. Someone smart for me could be, Linus Tech Tips. Super smart guy, builds PCs. Not that much of an expert into PC building myself. And sometimes he does make really cool content pieces just about showing the insights of what's it like running a creator business, which is super cool. Super smart guy. Again, gets me excited. Mostly talks about what's happening in the space and kind of more positive leaning topics. And I think that's pretty much my 3rd tip as well. Watch content creators who are making more content that's more positive than negative. Negativity and trauma attracts a lot of eyeballs, but again, if you want to get stuff done yourself and be motivated and have an awesome life, watch content creators who make positive content. And I would throw in like a 4th one too, that kind of goes with this smart aspect of things. Like watch content creators who like talk about real stuff. Asmongold is one of my bigger favorites actually, who just plays like World of Warcraft day in and day out. And I don't care too much about WoW anymore. I used to play that game when I was younger, but like sometimes when there's something serious happening, whatever social places, or there's like difficult conversations that need to be had, he's like super good and smart about how to cover those sort of things, where it's like it's not just pushing down whatever his belief is or agenda, but just kind of viewing one side and second side of the things and kind of pulling it all together. But then let's get more into the specific examples. So why am I even talking about this? So pretty much to come back to the very beginnings, to my childhood, there I was, parents divorced, gaming like a madman. I had this kind of like a wooden shed. It wasn't really wooden. It was like a train cart turned into a shed. And there was the question of, grow up and, who I will become then in the future. And pretty much like my parents didn't fully get me. That's all like kind of what I wanted to do in the future. And what I noticed as well, like all of this really then started with the fascination of content creators, especially on YouTube. So show you around here. I'm sure everybody knows who PewDiePie is, but he was actually one of the guys as well who I followed pretty much meticulously, and I think everybody around me also followed very meticulously. And he was actually one of the first content creators who even aspired me in terms of like what kind of style I would want to create, because when I was 15, 16, I pretty much figured out as well, thanks to all of these content creators, that hey, this is something freaking awesome that I want to do as well. That's why after I finished my high school and went to the military service, I was like, okay, I just want to do this more effectively, because I had made a ton of content myself. But yeah, then I just went to university to study film and television, and pretty much in order to make more and more better quality content, and that's how I'm now here. But yeah, talking about PewDiePie and many others were the ones who kind of got me beginning into the creator space. It was just cool because they were gamers, I was a gamer, and when mentioning about making content, then here I have an example here of like just kind of what kind of simple content I would make. And there's this old channel called Maxed Audio. I'm surprised there's still some subscribers lingering there, but yeah, this was one of the first videos I made, so let's take a look.
Oh no! Ouch! That's hurt. Yeah!
What? There is no way! I bashed you on the head twice!
So you can see, nothing too crazy to look at here. You know, in the corner you can see I'm in that lovely shed. I actually have the same microphone, which is super cool. But yeah, I think 9 years ago now, in the shed, making some content. This is also very cool because I think back in the day was one of my viewers who who hit me up, or I hit them up, and then we did like a video together, but just gaming. Nothing crazy, and that was it. And to kind of showcase how PewDiePie also influenced me in the content, and you know, some pieces of influence I would say are kind of better, some maybe a little bit worse. So PewDiePie did.
I'm doing it! I'm working!
So yeah, maybe some things, you know, not as, I would say, best of influence or not, but actually that was my goal back in the day as well, where I just wanted to make, I guess, people laugh, and you know, if that was a way to do it, then I was gonna do it. But after then, there was kind of this period as well. As I mentioned, my parents got divorced, so there wasn't too many kind of role models, and I've talked around with some of my best friends and colleagues too, and a lot of people who kind of, it seems like, who had this kind of not super tight parental relationships looked outside for new role models, and this is what I did, and in comes pretty much this guy. So pretty much, if you're not a boomer now, you may have not heard about WoodysGamertag, but this was the guy who, when I started to think on surface level that yes, content creators or these influencers got me really into this, you know, creator space, and thanks to them I was able to put together a career plan that I want to do this kind of stuff, and now I'm working in a company about influencer marketing and those sort of things. That's super cool. But the more I thought about it, actually, the more kind of mindset about life kind of impact was brought up by this specific content creator, and this is kind of like a heavier piece that I want to focus on here. So pretty much, who is WoodysGamertag? If I just open up his YouTube channel here, now he does podcast type of content. Whereas previously he would just play Modern Warfare 2, either do gameplay videos, and pretty much what he did back in that day, if you don't know now, you were able to actually send messages to people on YouTube. I guess YouTube got rid of it because there was a lot of people spamming lots of content creators with messages, or like basic people to try to grow their own channel. That's what I actually did as well. I just went into like YouTube's PewDiePie's comment section and seen whoever was like more active or something commenting about gaming that could be maybe interested in my content. I just pinged them up on YouTube. But the cool thing here was that this enabled WoodysGamertag here start a new type of content, which was this Mail Monday here. And pretty much what he would do is people would write to him on the channel and he would just answer simple questions. Well, I say simple, they weren't actually that simple. What happened was that since a lot of teenagers were watching content, they didn't have anybody to go to with certain very heavy or not so heavy questions about, I guess, being a teenager. So to maybe give you an example of like what those content pieces look like, we can jump back maybe and just listen to the first.
Hey guys, it's Woody the
First question that Woody answers here, and the title of this video also, keep in mind, toughest and easiest questions of Mail Monday history. So definitely I would say probably the first one is more of a tougher one. Here we go.
Exceptional Gamer, and this is Mail Monday, a weekly series is not so much about the gameplay, but instead is about your letters and my answers to them. The only reason I saved this crappy gameplay was for the kill cam. You'll see. I have had divorced parents since I was little. My mom is an extreme alcoholic, and she tried killing me before when she was drunk. I'm 14 and a freshman living in Indiana. She also practically lives off my child support because my dad is wealthy. I see him every other weekend. My dad's not very nice either, but he's better than her by far. I'm stuck living with her for now, though. I go to a private high school that has less than 20 people in the grade. The school's not even accredited, so I have a bad feeling it won't be good for me. Because of my mom practically ruining my life, I've missed over 200 days of school in my life from her being hungover, and all the other things going on, I'm depressed at the least, kind of suicidal. These aren't temporary problems, regarding to your usual advice. These ones are staying for at least a few years. I hide that I'm depressed from my friends because I don't want them to worry. I used to show it, but they thought it was for attention. The only ones who know are 2 girls in my grade. One I trust more than anyone. Speaking of that, I'm helplessly friend-zoned. Any help ideas with that? Not a hit-and-stick strategy. The school's too small for it to ever work. Please help me with my life. I don't know what to do anymore. Mainly the first 2, but girl help always helps. I don't know if this makes Mail Monday or not. Just help me with this and email me back at least, please. Wow.
Yeah, wow. And you can see, like, here also the very nervous laugh there from WoodysGamertag. Yes, wow. And this was kind of like heavy and I think, I didn't have to go through any of that kind of extreme stuff. But what it helped do a lot of kind of my type of generation who followed this kind of content really was to open up the mindset of different kind of problems that are around the world and how to even potentially kind of tackle these different issues. And I think throughout all of the content that I watched from WoodysGamertag, pretty much like one very specific thing stuck to me, and which was like maybe not the most family friendly way of saying it nowadays, but like back in that day it was like this kind of like mindset of like didn't matter had sex mentality. And kind of the point of that mentality was that kind of didn't matter what kind of crap happened, but it's just focus on the next awesome thing and just keep going. And pretty much it kind of again helped me build to who I am today. It helped me lose weight. One thing, I was a fatty back in when I was in like 6th, 7th grade or something like that. I would have people kind of laugh at me when I had to just bend down and pick up some pencils because when you're kind of fat, it's not that easy doing simple tasks. So you had to have kind of like technique to kind of bend over and pick up pencils, for example. And after that kind of happened pretty much within like a summer where I was just like, doesn't matter that I was, like this, but now, I'm going to be this awesome kind of a person, And then I just put my mind to it and it made me realize kind of like, doesn't matter whatever I kind of want to do. If I just kind of put my mind to it and I actually work hard on it, then I can make pretty much whatever the F I want to happen. And I think from kind of talking through a lot of different problems when I was even in high school, some people had me as their kind of like their I don't know how to say, like therapists. People used to trust me with a lot of their kind of secrets and come ask for advice about stuff. And what made me realize is that actually like that was pretty much like the best quality about myself, which I liked. And actually now I realized this actually just pretty much came from like me consuming this dude's content on YouTube, which is pretty insane. And that kind of grew into these other things where I wasn't that much of an extrovert, I would say. Very much an introvert, but I like the idea of being an extrovert. So then starting to make YouTube content kind of built myself again, being more free. Especially here, we have like an Estonian joke that all Estonians are kind of dark and quiet and not very introverted. You know, the more south you go, we say, the more introverted you get and the more social distancing you need. So when we had COVID here, people were even saying that you know, why do you need the 2-meter distance requirement? This is just like normal life here. But yeah, like that also helped me pretty much like kind of put myself out there, helped me work under pressure a lot better. And yeah, super hyper good positive impact on my life. Just one content creator. And I think that's why also, as they say, you know, you want to put as many good people around your kind of immediate circle in the friends group or whatever. Same I think you want to do with the content creators as well. But yeah, he will be never forgotten. And in case Woody happens to see this, then thanks, man. You helped me a ton. And this also has made me strive for the greater good. I think I have to still achieve my ultimate goal when I started to make content as a kid. So I'm going to reveal it now. My kid's childhood dream was to build up a YouTube channel to a point where I can make a charity live stream and minimally raise 100k for a charity. So let's see how this will go. You're gonna need to chime in again next weekend and hit that subscribe button.